It's always been like the stupidest part of streaming. I just had to emote my
Yeah.
feelings on it. This
Yeah,
game.
it's good. It's good. I've been thinking a lot about blood in the past couple days. I'm gonna ask your thoughts about it before I do something more drastic.
What are you thinking about Blood?
Well, this is more of a
Ah,
spoilery private conversation for later.
more blood.
I, I just I did want to publicly share though that I have been thinking about blood though. I think
I
that's
haven't
the important
tweeted
part.
anything other than blood since my last stream. Okay, I retweeted a sword because it was the normal scimitar of abnormality, which was too good of a sword to pass up. So I moved Eleanor's save onto the memory card one and moved Cordy down here because I wanted to point this out. Gustav born 1220. We are in 1275. 55 years have passed.
Oh my god, old man Gustav at this
Ah,
point.
it's like games tend to explore either the very minor passage of time or extreme passage of time. Like, you don't get a lot of time
Hmm.
skips in the four. This game hasn't had a lot of time skips. It's been like a thing will happen, and then like later that year a thing will happen, and then like 2 years later a thing will happen.
Yeah, it's not like the time skips that we have are not really perceptible, but like we were talking last time, one of our long running party members, I forget his name, because he's the Mohawk guy with the axe.
Yeah, Tyler.
Tyler. Like Tyler is still the same, but he's way older now.
Yep, he's just way older.
It's messed up. Okay. I'm gonna open up my text file. Where is it?
Speaking of text file, I learned something
Yeah.
about this forest of illusion.
Oh
It
yeah?
is something of a notorious part of the game. The map is worthless. The map that they give you is absolutely worthless. And,
Oh, excellent.
the basic gimmick is before you can do anything with it, you have to visit every screen at least once. So, if you could help me, we're going to
Okay.
give each new map screen a name and then mark down that we've been there. And then I think there are 12 maps, but I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Got my notes.
I'm also just doing a bit of. This is fine.
Yeah. A little inventory antics. That's. And anytime I like get lost. Wait, Rich? Who the hell is that?
Oh, this is a new character, along
What?
with Eleanor.
Where did he come from?
We've had when we don't know. I don't even know who Eleanor is, but she came here with a party, which includes Raymond and Patrick. So those are the only
Okay.
holdovers. We don't know who Rich or Eleanor are really.
God. All right. Well, we're as far as like screens, we are on the fountain.
Yeah, we're on
I've
Fountain.
chosen to call it the fountain.
We're Fountain. Its defining feature is it's got two swirly guys around it.
Yeah.
What bandwagon?
Raises combo rate of following.
You know what? Fine.
War God.
Yeah, War God.
Protean. What is all
Like
this?
Protean. SP recovery
Uses the
rate up.
land to reinforce spell recovery.
Well, you're getting that one. Because all she really does is cast fire spells. That's her thing. And
Oh,
you are
man.
going to be heavy
I want to say that
attack.
this is the holdover of all of the various formation names.
Yeah.
Like when you do a formation in Romancing Saga 3 or whatever. But, like, those sort of vaguely made sense because it was an effect that applied to your whole party, and when you selected it, the arrangement of your characters would visibly change, so you kind of knew what was going on. This is just a word, and then it insists it does a thing, and the two seem to be almost unrelated. Like, Recover Protean Marksman, Versatile Cannonball Wagon, Ace Scout Support. It's just
So here's how we're doing. You got people who raise recovery rates. The guy who is clad in steel is the guy who attacks. God, look at the amount of HP he's got.
594.
Yeah, almost
Holy
600.
shit.
But then we got Eleanor over here with 20 life points. Remember, Poison Boy had 6? He specifically had low life points.
Oh, the man who comes here just to die.
Yeah, he had low life points specifically so he would
the
die
guy who
in that
got, like,
cutscene.
an entire chapter to himself.
Yeah, like a chapter.
He's like, oh yes, he is an assassin being chased by a legacy of assassins.
That came out of nowhere. Like, all it did was what did that establish even?
I don't know.
That's why
he was pointing at himself and had a hair explosion.
That's why I think maybe he has something more in the game. I don't know though. This game's been wild so far. Okay, so
I fear at this point that it might be endless. Who are these people? What are they talking about?
We did have a very long screen of possible characters. Should I go up or down here?
I have no notion of the correct action.
Yeah, we'll just go then. We've got 2 rhinos and a tunnel. So let's call this Rhino Tunnel. Yeah.
Rhino Tunnel.
Oh shit, Rhino. Eleanor looks like a clown to me. So I named it the stream Eleanor the Battle Clown.
I think it's the floppy sleeves.
It's the Harlequin pattern.
She kind of looks like that. Okay. Do you know that Street Fighter character that also has the sleeves and is based off of the, like, Chinese hopping vampire?
Yeah,
she like throws blades.
We had this exact same discussion last week, and I think we established that it was a Darkstalkers character.
Yes, that is a Darkstalkers character. Dang it! I don't have any new material. My comedy credentials have been defrauded here, live, right for you.
So that's what Eleanor does. She calls down the.
I don't remember the name of that. I'm gonna look up that character though.
Tornado Blade.
I'm gonna ask a Bing about Darkstalkers. Well, I'm gonna ask a Bing about Darkstalkers video game. It has a Wikipedia entry that's useful. Comic books? What?
It's asking about that because last time you found your ancient comic book almanac that we talked about book fairs.
Oh right, the X-Men comic. Or it was just a book. Yeah, someone linked me to that. I've lost it. I lost the link. Wait, did I bookmark it? Where are my bookmarks? I feel like that's a thing that I should have bookmarked. No, bookmarks are called the library now. They go in the library. I recognize none of these bookmarks. That's frustrating. My most recent bookmark, and I don't remember doing this, is for Utgard Loki.
Utgard Loki.
Yeah, like a...
Utgard no like is what I think. Tornado Blade duo attack. Should probably give Eleanor some wazas to do because her. Actually, I think I have an arc stone. How many arc stones can I give her? So I have a lot of them now. And if she's just going to be casting spells.
Okay, Hishenko.
Hishenko.
Or perhaps Lele. Also known as Lele. That's the Darkstalkers character that I was thinking of.
Can I give you another arc stone, Eleanor? I can. You can get like 5 Wasa points back or 5 spells back a turn. Why don't you just take your armor off and replace that with an arc stone? Up, it's capped. Or maybe the caster robe also regenerates SP. Anyways.
Okay.
So
okay. This is Rhino Tunnel.
Rhino Tunnel only has the 2 entrances and exits, so
we have been to Fountain and Rhino Tunnel. That's the Belfry.
Okay, this is Belfry. got some she-rabbits. I remember these being weak.
Some she-rabbits?
Yeah.
That's how...
That's
okay.
Like
when...
Look, when I target it, you'll see.
Well, I understand that it's like a keiichi, right? Like,
yeah, this. So it's like... The reason it doesn't make any sense is because it's Irish. It's okay.
Yes. But when you say... Without my looking at that, when you say the word she-rabbit to me, it's like in Space Jam when they had to give Bugs Bunny like a love interest, even though
a sexy rabbit.
there had not, and she had to be like sexy and sporty, but also a cartoon, and somehow seamlessly like shoehorn into the wider canon of Looney Tunes, most of which were racist, by the way. Like, I didn't even know that shit growing up, but like, they don't even show the old ones anymore. Cause it's like, oh man, this shit is fucking embarrassing. And honest to God, I actually got to see like reruns of Bosco cartoons.
Bosco. I watched a lot of old cartoons, but that doesn't ring a bell.
Fucking Bosco is ancient. Like, it's hard to even express. He was like the precursor to Looney Tunes, where like Walt Disney had drawn a mouse once and found a way to monetize that in perpetuity forever. And like Bosco was there too, and he was like he was basically like a cartoon version of blackface almost. And it's a little embarrassing to think about just for that even now, but like the cartoons that I saw of his were like deep reruns on like the first time that my parents got cable or whatever on the channel of cable that played nothing but cartoons all the time. But they like didn't have enough to fill the air, so they were like, okay, like anything that we can get, and they were like, fine, here it is. Here's Bosco cartoon, and one of them was a like Bosco on a construction site, you know, just like rigging and scaffolding and all that, and like there were these like small creatures. I forget what kind of things they were, but like. They were dancing on a saw, like a big floppy bandsaw or whatever, and it's not actually a bandsaw.
Ugh, look at this shot of Rich. He's got a terrible goatee. Look at his weird-ass face.
From that shot, he looks like a Kunio-kun character.
He's going to throw a dodgeball. He's going to say barf.
Rich! Barf!
Yeah. I did interrupt your story because of his whack-ass face.
They were dancing on this huge saw, and then one of the cartoon creatures' heads gets sort of like cut off by the saw and starts bouncing around on it.
Whoa!
And then he just sort of like sticks it back on his body, and he's fine. And I remember this because there were like other airings of that cartoon where that particular scene from the whole cartoon didn't play out.
So he just gets his head cut off.
Censored? Yeah. Like this cartoon creature's head gets popped up, like, just sort of like plop. And then like he puts it back on, and they decided that was too violent for child or something. Man.
So I can go right or down. Which one do you think I should go?
I think we should go down. I think that would be best.
I think.
How did Rich gain so many levels?
I was remarking, he just really liked that fight. But I'm gonna send Raymond out because I want to do some kung fu fighting. So I made a save state so that if I completely eat it, I can reverse that decision.
Oh, I was about to ask because I feel like we could have gotten killed.
Yeah.
Do you want to know fist moves?
Get some up on the queue. I want to try inventing some.
Okay. They're right in front of my face. So the other thing about Bosco is that even the right thing? I think his name was Bosco, but there was like a so there was a cartoon show for children on like regular syndication, not even on cable, called Tiny Toon Adventures. You might remember the Tiny Toons.
I do remember that.
And they were supposed to be like the hip, like reimaginings of classic Looney Tunes, but for like the 1990s.
I remember this.
And you know, everyone had a mentor or someone that they were a reimagining of. Like, you know, there was Buster Bunny, who is the Bugs Bunny analog. There was the there was the pig. There's the duck. I forget their names.
I don't know what this debuff means.
And they were all in like college or something. He's sad. Or worried. He looks worried. And you know, they like all the Tiny Toons had their like older mentors, right? But because this came out in the 1990s and they were trying to be like inclusive and woke and all that, they had a girl bunny who was called Babs Bunny.
I remember Babs.
And there was an episode of Tiny Toon Adventures where like all of the adult Looney Tunes showed up and like paired off with the like children that were supposed to be their proteges or whatever. And Babs didn't have one because there was no such person.
Whoa! Got one!
Rolling Thunder? What the hell was that? It was dope!
I was charge all punches. and I lose it because I fucking die.
Well, the knowledge is part of it.
No, but for me to be able to use it in a fight, I have to win the fight.
We have to discover it again.
So
I understand.
So I have to redo the fight. But this time we'll discharge fight. Wait, no, shit, I'm wrong guy.
Yeah, that looks like a different character. So Babs was feeling all like out of sorts because every Tiny Toon had their adult Looney Tune, but she didn't. And she discovers that like there is an ancient Looney Tune who is like the bride of Bosco that was her forebear or whatever. And that solved her crisis, even though it was complete horseshit. I can't even remember the name of that. But Bosco had a girl Bosco. I forget her name.
Wait, was it focus punch 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 or charge punch punch punch?
What you had said to me was charge punch punch punch, but
yeah,
I wasn't paying super attention.
Okay, it's focus. Rolling Thunder is that.
It's focus punch punch punch.
Whoa! Yeah. Shit! It did 1,000 damage.
Punch the shit out of that spider.
It just exploded.
Hell yes.
I learned the exploding palm technique.
You bastard! I swear to God, I'll fucking kill you! That's if you can get up in the next 30 seconds. Points. 30-second timer appears on the camera.
Let's try it now.
30 seconds later, the man's head explodes. Welcome to Fist of the North Star. North Star Fist of remaining regret, baby. There is nothing more pure than dubbed Fist of the North Star, by the way.
If you defend. Actually, no. Yeah, you can defend, because I forgot to give you an axe. And you need to get some Wassa back. But he's got a move called Cascade Rising. Wait, did he not learn Focus Punch? Was he full?
Oh shit.
I'll have to check. Well, this won't be hard. Oh,
we learned it but didn't set it?
I'd believe that. Because
Okay.
he didn't spark it.
Wow, you ranched those gremlins something fierce.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
the she rabbits I think are as weak as they were when we first encountered them.
Oh, were those she rabbits and not gremlins? I wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Rich is getting there. He's getting lots out of this fight. Rich is a go-getter. He knows he's got. He's
Is
living up
this what it means to be rich?
Get out here, Sign Wider. You can get.
Yeah.
Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder.
So we got focus, kick, 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 and focus, punch, punch, punch.
First you think, then you kick. First you think,
Shit.
then you punch. Why are there so many ants?
I mean,
Did someone leave a donut out, like, on
Yeah.
the forest floor?
you see
That's
one...
why we have ants.
This is why we have ants. I forgot to give Patrick an axe again. I'll give him one after this. He needs to get some juice back as it. What if I do this? What if you use just annihilate the land kraken, and then
I forgot that it was called land kraken.
Yeah, the spider is called land kraken.
I think I forgot that last week too, and I laughed again. Ah, what joys of renewal this video game is.
Okay, so now everybody will defend to get my juice back because I've been at it for a while. Except I got Raymond set up so that he gets 3 Waza points back around, and rotation kick costs 3 Waza points, so he can just go and train. I did that so he could train. So even though rotation kick is like a weak move, he can do it forever, and it'll train his martial arts. So I don't have to use him as a bow user.
Yep, bows are terrible. Romancing Saga has taught us this.
The deadly dust.
Well, I mean, these enemies seem to be doing puny things to you, so that's nice.
This is exactly what I want. Weak enemies and many kicks.
The kicks.
Eventually, the spider will die.
What if that's not true?
He's only gaining back
What if
20 or so HP a turn.
No, that we see, but like, what if enemies are like our party? What if they have like a passive regen that we're not perceiving?
Well, we'll find out then. If not, then this is even more perfect, because I get an infinitely train. I see no downside.
Holy shit, the counterattack. Did you see that? You attack me? No! I attack you instead. That's so rude.
Up it zoomed in on the land kraken for some reason.
He was thinking real hard about his next move.
Spider surf.
Spider surf? He did a Spider-Man like web sling into you.
Web shot.
That's called the spider surf.
Called the spider
Why
surf.
didn't real Spider-Man figure that out?
Yeah, the battle clown has a shield. Yeah, good job, Raymond. Yeah, you bet his ass martial level has gone up. He punched like 11 times in that fight. I'm about to get attacked by another spider. Oh.
My martial level also goes up when I punch 11 times.
That's why if you punch 1,000 times, it goes up. So you become so deadly. Because
My fists would probably break if I did that.
that's why you got to do training.
Yes.
Yeah, so
The training.
I forgot once again to give Patrick a better weapon. So, an axe. He has a really good weapon. It's just a staff. I guess I could have him stick these guys. It won't matter that much because Eleanor's got full SP, so call in the airstrike. He's got Rock Crush. Rock Crush is so expensive. Use stone staff. And you just can use smash. Smash him. Use your sword. Quick down. Oh man, it missed. Remember when Delta Petra was like the best thing we could do?
You'll learn to love it again as soon as it turns into stone.
Getting a phone call I'm going to hang up on. There we go. We just had Gilgamesh briefly show up.
You and I have different feelings about phone notifications, I think. I always set any like device I have, if it has to make a noise to notify me of things, I set it to the most disgusting noise that it can make. Like just something like that evokes a state of emergency. Here it goes. Turned him to stone. Hell yes. Delta Petra still owns.
I'll have you use Delta Petra. You can use it like once. And then you, Raymond, show him your... No, I need you to get Waza points back, so you'll also do Delta Petra.
So the thought being that if the phone is making noise, I want it to stop.
Whereas...
So I make it like... It makes the most awful noise, so I want it to just stop as soon as I can.
Eleanor has learned Reviva.
I'm sorry, it has learned what?
Holy Reviva.
Holy Reviva?
You can see his stripes, but you know he's cleaner. It's not.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying. It's not called Holy Reviva though. It was just called Reviva. Where's it at though? It's a beast move.
It's a beast move. Beast, flame!
Endows ability to resurrect self. Why did Eleanor learn this? She has no beast! She's not a beast spell
Eleanor has
user.
0 beast? Sometimes the beast finds it. The beast within.
Rich is a beast within. Reviva. I guess I'll put it on Eleanor.
Reviva. She even have a beast tool? I don't think we would have given her a beast tool.
She's about to have a beast tool. She has 2 arc stones on right now, so...
Wow.
What are those skin?
I feel like that's something you should say to people when they're irritating you and you want to just like go outside and punch them in the face. Be like, look, you're about to have a beast tool.
There was something in the tower. Anyways,
the belfry.
The belfry. I use Gilgamesh as my phone notification because I get a lot of spam calls, and when I ignore them, I'll just let the song play and be like, okay, I get to listen to this for 30 seconds. Now die by fire.
That's good.
Now
those are gremlins, though.
Ah, yeah, these are gremlins.
That'd better be a gremlin. Yes. I mean, I'm not happy that they're alive, but I am happy that they are here because we will murder them.
I'm gonna have Rich use Reviva, just see what it looks like. Let's bring down the fire. Fire magic seems really good.
Oh my god! They didn't even like... Oh... They didn't even recoil.
No, but
They're just like, yep, it is correct for me to be dead.
I do not have time to die. I merely die.
Man, that does remind me of what I used to appreciate in video games as an attitude. The different ways in which enemies would perish, like the death animations in video games.
Yeah.
And in particular, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. Harmony of Dissonance had the most excellent death animations. And like it blew my mind every time. Like every little Medusa head, for instance, had this dramatic, like, bubbling, bloody fade out.
A lot of Castlevania games have really good death in it. Like in Soden, the knife-wielding guy, the guy with 2 daggers, and he chops the shit out of you. When he dies, he throws one of them. He throws one of his knives at you.
Oh yeah, Gurkha.
I don't know his name. There's some weird-ass names.
But
in
the like axe armor kind of guy.
Yeah, he would hang out
with the sprite resampling.
He was like in a room with whenever he appeared like a couple times, and usually he would appear with like the ball and chain guy. I think.
I think we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah. I think we are. He has.
Because he like goes, oh, and then like stabs himself and then throws the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that reminds me of Red Ninja End of Honor, where your primary attacking weapon was a knife on the end of a rope, and you could like hook someone with the rope, and then like run around and use it to like clothesline other guys, which was like cool. But if you were if you were fighting one guy and you got the one guy with your rope around the neck, you could just sort of like tug on the rope, and he would like take damage, and if he took lethal damage from it, his head would pop off. And if that happened, he would flail around with his weapon, and that would actually hurt you. Like, you could get hurt by the, like, chicken with his head cut off flailing about.
So after I
and it was...
Yeah.
Like, in the moment, it was charming, but, like, given what else was going on with that video game, and the fact that, overall, it was extremely horrible in any given evaluative capacity, it's just, like, that was just one more fuck you on top of a gigantic pile of fuck yous that this game had for the player. It was just, man, the fact that you could like kill someone and then if you killed them in the wrong way, they could still damage you. Just
like real life.
It was vile.
Trying to teach you life lessons about how to kill people the right way.
Yes, Red Ninja End of Honor was teaching me life lessons about how spiteful your enemies can be and how you have to seduce them with your ninja sexiness in order to get them to walk over to where you are before you stab them in the face.
I mean, I do that on a daily basis.
Okay, so we got to a new screen, but I haven't given this one a name.
This one is 2 rhinos and a plant by a tree.
Okay, before you unpause.
Yeah.
What's going on with that little thing to the left? Do you see that? That
that's
like outline?
Pretty sure
chest?
the thing to the left of that plant is a chest.
Okay.
So let's call this.
Oh, this has stairs. Do we?
2 rhino stair chest place.
Two rhino stair chest.
Yeah, 2 rhino. It's and stardust. Guess I'll keep it. What is the stardust? It's probably an equipment of some variety. Raw tool? Question marks?
Tool?
Well,
raw tool?
So here we're at shit. The only thing this looks like is this looks like the Roman Colosseum. But it's like outside. And I thought we were inside it at one point.
I have decided that there are too many enemies in this horrible place.
I came to that conclusion a while ago. Get bent, Peg.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were the one actually doing things. I just had to watch you do things, and so it didn't wear on me as much.
You had Tiny Toon discussions to withdraw to.
Talking about the Tiny Toons.
Missile Head.
Shout Missile Head. Shout Duo Attack. What the hell is that?
I need to see if I need to heal or anything. Ogre Crossing.
Yeah, get that peep.
Roast him.
I like that bushfire happened after everyone was already dead.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my cool AoE.
Retreat level must be low, because I didn't do shit for damage.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Well, maybe the peep resists tree.
I will kill him with my fists, because I do not respect him. I can even have Rich punch him.
Rich punch.
4 damage.
Yeah, starting to agree with the whole, like, not respecting this enemy. Oh, dead. Okay.
Just murdered. Well, Raymond learned something. So did Rich. They gave me a stick that... Yeah, the peep...
Okay, so are we...
Let's call this...
Wait, so we left 2 Rhino Stair Chest. This is
Coliseum Exterior.
Face House.
Face House. Okay, this is Face House. Should I go right or down?
Down.
I don't think that these places actually connect to each other in a logical way.
I don't think so either.
So we... Another of these bastards.
We've been to 5 total screens today.
That's almost
good.
half.
The one that we're on is the 6th.
Yeah,
That's
that is
hopeful.
half. Alright, let's just burn them. Get out your
Let's
crossing.
just burn them.
Let's burn them.
You said that the way that, like, a child with a magnifying glass and the daytime sun would approach an anthill.
See, when I was saying it, I felt like a garbage man referring to a garbage can he has to pick up. Like, let's just pick it up. Oh god, this is going to be murderous.
Tornado Plague Ogre Crossing!
Yeah, that was pretty murderous.
It's good. Have we mentioned that Eleanor is totally a JoJo's
We have mentioned
this
that
time?
as well.
Because I know that we've mentioned it before, but
Not this
I feel
time,
like
though.
it's worth repeating tonight.
Okay, so this...
Yeah, I was trying to get the lay of the land, but then the fight happened, so I
It's fucking ant.
got like ripped out of my eyes.
She has a sailor suit on, like the current JoJo has. And by sailor suit, I mean like a suit a sailor would wear, not like a
Oh
school
yeah,
uniform.
not like a Japanese young child school uniform.
Although those are based off of the sailor suits, as in the military uniform. A lot of school uniforms based off military uniforms.
Yo, what if the sailor scouts had to like actually sail on like a yacht or something? Did that ever happen?
I don't know. My knowledge of Sailor Moon is fairly scant.
I feel like that should have happened at some point.
Okay, so this screen is Aqueduct because it has an aqueduct.
Aqueduct. Yeah, you can see the where it would have gone. The the fact that they had to make aqueducts that were just very tall so that the water would go downhill.
This is Pavilion. It looks like a pavilion. So, oh no, it's Yuki. He died and turned into rocks.
Snowman. What the heck?
Okay, we're back
Face
here.
House. Back in Face House. All right. Right from Face House. This is new.
This is the Arc de
That's
Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe, yeah.
Okay, we're back at Rhino.
Okay, so we're back in Rhino Tunnel.
Rhino Tunnel.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try a new strategy. Whenever I get into a place...
We got 8 locations.
Yeah. Whenever I get into a place I've already been, I'm going to try exiting back out the way I came.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is the game designer's way of like forcing you to level up with these characters?
Yeah, like you've never used them before. You've never used half of them before, so they got to get their reps in.
Right.
These guys are about to get fucking murdered.
Firestorm Smash! blah, blah, crunch.
Yeah, the she-rabbits are not living through that.
Wow. Oh, nice. Nice.
Well, these fights are at least fruitful. And if I run out of juice, I can use an arc stone, I think. Okay, we've been here before, so I'm gonna try going back.
Yeah, that's the belfry. Okay. That's the rhino tunnel. That's the belfry.
So last time on the belfry we went down, so I'll go up this time. And
We're back at Fountain.
We're back at Fountain.
This is the pavilion. I think we went right from pavilion.
We went down. We went down this way. So let's go up.
Yeah. Up right. Okay. Ooh.
Okay. This is.
We've not seen this tonight.
It's like a clearing. This looks familiar, but I can't trust my memories precisely.
I mean, it looks like forest. Like everything's gonna kind of look like stuff. I will admit that Firestorm has been putting in a lot of work tonight. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, do that, and then you can also do that.
I do love the massive cone. I don't know, it's something about it. Like,
I like taking that.
It's a move that like it gets bigger as you go, right? So the further away you happen to be from your target, it gets to do more.
Yeah, these are just basic she-rabbit. Its normal attack did 0 damage. Deflect.
Deflected. Where to go, Rich? Rickard.
So predictably, his Delta Petra sucked because he's not a wizard.
Well, also that thing is called a rock rhino, right?
Yeah, he might resist.
Yeah, maybe he is.
He'll be weak to rock.
Maybe if he is already made of rock, he cannot be turned into rock. I feel like that's come up in some point, maybe in like Full Metal Alchemist or something, where there was like some kind of evil golem, and the one guy's ability was like turn anything into a rock, and he like got through life just sort of defeating his enemies by turning them to stone. But then he came across the stone golem, and he's like, "Fuck, shit."
That's a character in. I just finished a manga called Doro Hidoro. It just got animated. It's currently airing.
Mm-hmm.
That is full of stupid powers like that. But the most powerful wizard in that universe is a wizard who just has control over mushrooms. And he's the most feared wizard in the world. And his stupid power.
Could you, like, the ability to like make mushrooms pop up places, or
yeah.
like have a handful of mushrooms and then like throw them like knives, or like what?
Or he like exhales spores, and the spores are tiny, so they go into you, and then they grow into giant mushrooms, and you explode. He also only eats mushrooms, and he loves mushrooms.
Okay, that sounds kind of like Bleach. It's like everyone's sword had like fucking fictitious powers that they would just make up on the spot to defeat their opponent.
Jin just said it's like One Piece. Dorohedoro is kind of like One Piece, only written and drawn by a woman, so the women don't look like weird hourglasses. They are all stacked and muscular. But
One Piece is kind of like dire as far as like what people look like.
But it's kind of like that, only extremely violent and extremely gory, which appeals to me.
Sorry. I didn't mean to like say as if to disparage your taste.
No. You had the correct reaction to it.
I don't know. Okay, what are we gonna call this place? Big Ranch?
Root Bridge.
Root Bridge.
This looks like a broker.
We're inside a tower.
That guy's got treasure. Yeah, the Tactics Ogre official character art stuff. I think it's specifically Let Us Cling Together is the one that post is about. Everyone in that game just has extremely broad shoulders, no matter who they are or how they're dressed. So it's like just extremely strong
Everyone
people.
has, like, it's like they have the football, like,
The robo shoulders.
yeah, like the huge hole, but on the inside of their bodies. Hey.
Another fight. Another.
I imagine
firestorm.
that they all have really deep voices too. So if you're like a regular person and you go to this world, you're like, oh my god, who are you people? They're like, hey, child.
Football is mandatory.
Football is compulsory. It's like in various states of the world where you have to. There's like compulsory military service or whatever. This is compulsory football.
Yeah. Anyways,
everyone has to do football for this year.
Look at we just
get
found.
and blast sword.
Get and blast sword. Guess I'll keep it. You there, rich. Oh, how big? How powerful? Okay, fossil sword is 24. How powerful is blast
Beast
sword?
tool.
Only 18.
Well,
what is blast sword though?
It's probably like it just has a cool name, so we like it.
That's good enough for me.
All right.
Okay, I can go down here. Okay, I think there's 2 exits here, but I'm gonna fucking squared. Anyways, I recommend to read Dorohedoro. I don't know if the anime will be good. It probably is. It's probably fine. Because the artist has an irreplicatable art style, they just did it as a 3D anime. Because,
Sweet.
no way you could ever really animate what her drawings look like.
That's kind of do. As a counterbalance, you know, we're fair, but we're also balanced. So you gave a recommendation for a manga. I'm going to give an anti-recommendation for a manga.
Which one is it? Sister Red?
I'm going to talk about it. No. I would recommend to anyone to read Sister Red. I have it on my shelf. I got the first one for free, and the second one,
As a curse.
my dear friend and yours, Slyanine, bought for me for 1 cent. So between the three of us, we have paid 1 cent for Sister Red, the entirety of it.
I want to save.
Yeah, no, read that one. It'll drive you check spacing mad.
So what do you opposite recommend?
The anti-recommendation, the Wisteria Bow. Oh my!
Oh, shit, fucking ant. They got attacked by worthless ants.
Oh, the Wisteria Bow is made of donuts. It got the
that's
ants.
why.
Yeah. The anti-recommendation that I mean to make while you are fighting these monsters is Attack on Titan.
Yeah, don't read that.
Don't read it.
It goes nowhere, and it's fascist. It takes you a while to figure out either of those things. Instead, use Ogre Crossing on Sharkworm.
Greater summation than... I mean, there are other problems with it too, like the primary manga artist just could not draw people's faces, so like everyone looks the same, and like all these characters are constantly dying and getting eaten by titans or whatever. So it's not like you really have time to spend with them in different panels. It's like, no, they're there for 2 panels and then they get eaten because this world sucks. And they're, you know, Ein is like, he's got the burning passion. He wants to kill all the titans, and then he's a titan, and then the walls are made of titans, and then like two of the people say like, "Hey, buddy, I'm the armored titan, and he's the colossal titan. You want to hang out?" And then they kidnap him because he's like rightfully upset because these are the people who have been like destroying everything, and
that's a pretty powerful
like nothing
bow.
That's good. Attack on Titan is like Lost, where, you know, there are all these mysteries, but nothing, like the author doesn't have any end game. They haven't thoroughly thought out what these like mysteries actually mean or what the answers truly are. So they're just sort of like doing shit and like introducing new characters and killing them. That happened on Lost too, right? Like people died every week in that, right?
I never watched Lost. I remember seeing a little bit of it and going, "This is probably stupid," and then I avoided it. And it was one of the better choices I've made in my life. Was to say, I think it was the same.
I mean, that's good. There was. I mean, I think the only episode that I've seen 2 episodes of Lost. One of which was the final episode, but another one of which was like someone explaining to another character that the island was a cork that kept hell from, bursting forth into Earth.
Look at this cute little bat.
It's a pretty good bat.
You know what you're describing isn't actually what you think it is. What you're describing is a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because it had the same plot, only it was...
It did well. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer treated that premise with
the respect it
more
deserved.
Dignity than Lost. But no, like there was a scene on the beach, and like one of the guys described to the guy who's the mayor in Batman, what the island of Lost actually was. And he's speaking metaphorically, and he's saying, look, and he has this, like, wine bottle. It's funny shaped, but it's a wine bottle. And he's like, look, this is hell. The hell is the wine. And where we are, it's the cork. And he turns it upside down. And he's like, see? The wine doesn't come out of the bottle. It's just the way the hell doesn't come into Earth because of the cork. And the other guy's like, okay, that makes sense. And then in a later scene in that same episode, there's like someone who, other lost people are in the like deep parts of some cave in the island. They're just sort of like exploring or whatever. And they're like, we have to move this because it's here. And it's literally a giant cork. Like a big stone cork. That's it. And I'm like, hold on. Whoa! Oh my god!
A dryad is attacking us.
Oh no, boobs! Out of nowhere.
Because I wanted the chest, and I didn't mean that. Oh, it's
surprise!
Multiples. Look at this big sprite. Have we seen anything this big before?
That's pretty wild.
It's dope.
Not to drag too bad on our friends or anything, but I feel like that's what happens if you like commission churls to draw something.
No. This is literally what a wife commission is.
That is a wife commission happened out of nowhere.
50, 40. This is.
I'm sorry, Charles.
I like the wife commissions. I had her draw a tabletop character I was supposed to play as. That was Rachel from Friends if she was a disgusting rat. And that was going to be my tabletop character.
Wait, what do you mean if?
No, Rachel from Friends was not a disgusting rat, Kaz. She was like an uppity uptown.
You're right. I concede any argument. I don't know anything about Friends. The only thing I know about Friends. Okay. I know 2 things about Friends. All right, I know 2 things about Friends. I have not watched any Friends. The 2 things I know about Friends are everything that is in that one Doc Future video about a non-alphabetical listing of black actors in Friends.
Whoa! Wow! 3,000 damage!
2007.
Yeah, so we have that.
Happy Y3K07 bug, everybody. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's one thing I know, is the non-alphabetical listing of black actors in Friends by Doc Future. Go watch everything that Doc Future does, by the way, audience. The second thing that I know is that How I Met Your Mother is sort of basically Friends, but like slightly better, but slightly different, but basically better, but also worse.
Whoa, shit.
It's complicated. Oh my god, we're getting ranched.
That's fine.
Maybe this dryad is powerful.
Well, it can't have that much more health left. I've done like 9,000 damage to it.
But what if its health is over 9? Just 9.
Thanks for the follows, LSR. What am I doing? I'm gonna get Raymond can drink from his cup. His cup does not overfloweth. Okay. He's out of... Oh, he has one more Cascade Rising in him. Maybe I can get another... Ooh, Frog Chair. I know an artist who is making molds of the little frog chair. I don't know what the frog chair is, but it's cute. And I'll know where you'll be able to buy them soon.
I feel like the... Wow, happy Y3K bug.
Yeah!
Like the frog chair... Oh, it's exploding into trans rights. Yes!
Yes! Well, the tree...
Absolutely.
There was... If two dryads live in the same tree, then they're lesbians. Everybody knows that. Found Dryad Grail.
Alright, we can suspend talk of frog chair for some later time.
Well, you can talk about whatever you needed to talk about while I examine.
Beautiful, I'm gonna do it now. It's like a crystallization of the internet because it's every aspect of the internet. It's cute, it's horny, it's productive in that way that you do like the making of videos where it's like refurbishing an old chair to be a new chair. It's the internet. All aspects. Those are the only aspects of the internet, by the way.
What more aspect would you need?
I don't know. Like there's cute, there's horny, there's like refurbishing. That's all the internet is good for. I guess it could somehow be like a food video too, but that kind of fits into refurbishing, I think. I feel like videos where, you know, they take some rusty old thing and then paint it is the same as like the food videos where you have the overhead. And frog chair is absolutely horny logical to you. I hate to like, I'm not trying to snap at you about this or anything.
See, I don't know if it's horny either. Maybe...
No, it totally is, because there's the frog there, and there's the text bubble that says, "Sit on me!" And that's the...
I don't want to put you on the spot for any sort of things you might like, Kaz, but not convinced that the frog chair is horny. And if you're discovering things about yourself, that's healthy and normal.
Mate, at this point, I can't possibly discover anything about myself, okay? I'm so bound up in steganographic mysteries that anything that could be known creates new anti-facts that obscure what is known.
So no, that's great. You're making more mysteries for yourself by finding more answers. It's like Star Trek.
It's exactly like Star Trek. Okay, that's a wrap, everybody.
That's a wrap.
Kaz is Star Trek.
Kaz is Star Trek. Zendaya is Michi. I want that fucking chest. How do I get it?
You have to get it from above. You have to fall down from above.
I think I have to walk up that branch. Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna fight literally everybody. You will die from fire.
You will die!
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire!
Fire! To destroy what you... Okay, so why have you been the god of hellfire lately? I feel like as one of your other aspects, I have to ask.
Okay, there's two reasons. One, I like that song. Actually, there's three reasons. One, I like that song. Two...
And, you know, the videos of the guy, like, the videos they cut of it, it's like, he has a fire going on his head the entire time.
Yeah, which is dope.
That was like a live effect.
Yeah, he's just
had fire. That's a practical effect.
That's reason number one. Reason number two is that it was later sampled by Death Grips on their album Ex-Military. And then third, it was later sampled again in... an album somebody made mashing Ex-Military with the soundtrack from Lisa the Painful. And I had one of the songs from that album stuck in my head for like 2 weeks. And it's just the only thing that they sample is the guy screaming, "I am the god of hellfire."
That makes sense.
Yeah, Lisa the Painful.
That reminds me of when Buffy the Witch Slayer, daughter of
Daughter of Ash.
Shoot. No, not Daughter of Ash. The What was his name? Daughter of
Anthurium.
Don Draper.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
Don Draper.
yeah. Don Draper had a kid, and she became a witch, and that witch was named Sabrina.
Sabrina, yes.
Sabrina the Teenage
Witch.
New Adventures. The chilling adventures of Sabrina. That's the new thing.
Slime. We're just
That's what the new thing
quells
is called.
everywhere.
It's called the chilling adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Maybe the Teenage Witch part isn't on there. But anyway, they why am I talking about Sabrina? Oh, the part 3, because things have parts on Netflix now instead of seasons.
Oh man, I'm spending life points to spend, so now we're just gonna.
In part 3, someone decided that I don't know how this happened, if it got like a new director or anything. Like, someone decided that the show needed to be a musical also. So like every episode of part 3 has a musical number, which is very weird because most of them are forced, and like the show up to that point just did not have those. So it's like, it's wild. Like, why is that happening? And like one of the musical numbers they had was the like friend cloud of Sabrina, but not Sabrina herself, like forming a band, and they were just doing band practice and covering My Sharona. And it's like, fine, okay, you're covering My Sharona. It's fine. And then a later episode had a cheer squad of the local high school as part of their like cheer routine, doing It's Tricky, which samples My Sharona.
What more do you need?
It's like there's something going on here that I haven't gotten to the bottom of yet, either like artistically or like some kind of, I don't know, something around the pipes of. It was baffling. Neither of these scenes made any sense, and together they suggest that something was supposed to make sense, but it didn't. It's just, why?
We're doing this again.
So anyway, you're mentioning of like songs and samples reminded me of that. It was a recent example of a thing that sampled a thing.
My favorite version of My Sharona, by the way, is a cover by Alvin and the Chipmunks. But instead of actually, well, you know, the Alvin and the Chipmunks, you played them on like on a 32-speed record player.
Mm-hmm.
But if you play them on a 16-speed, the song play half as fast. Which what they do with the Alvin and the Chipmunks is they just have the people, well, they used to, they would just have the people sing it slowly, and then they would speed up the recording, which would pitch it up. Like, that's how they did it back in the day. So if you played them on a 16 speed, you would just hear them singing normally, and it turns all the songs that they made into sludge rock songs. So you have a sludge cover of My Sharona by Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's good. That's good. The same thing, because Matt Stone and Trey Parker are colossally lazy as artists.
Yes.
That's how all of South Park works too.
Mm-hmm.
All the like kid voices are just them talking normally, but like pitch shifted.
Okay, so
which there's like a South Park lengthy feature. I don't know if it's properly called a movie, but there was like a longer South Park episode.
Ooh, they had a movie, but we're in an actual cutscene now.
Yeah, and it had this long musical thing because Matt Stone and Trey Parker are actually like deep music nerds, which is available for them showing their asses if you ever watch Cannibal the Musical.
Ooh, there's a glowing light. We were seeking something? We don't know what we were seeking.
Oh.
But
we just had to get up high so that we could look at the at a glowing rock. Like,
Alright, so
yes.
that wasn't so bad. Apparently, if you actually try to use the map and, like, just try to go, it's terrible. Han Nova in Flames. I think we'll do that one.
Gustav's successor? This game is never going to end.
Well, why would we want it to end,
It's gonna be like,
Kaz?
oh, we get the full story of Gustav and the full story of Will Knights, and then Gustav has a successor, and then they succeed, and then we have their story.
Advances southward. With the arrival of this news, the lords begin to evacuate Han Nova. Han Nova was the city we built that we almost put 5 blacksmith regions into.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Because we built it, it could look like anything, and so to be internally consistent no matter what you choose, they have to destroy it.
Your Excellency, Cantal's forces are approaching.
Cannot abandon Gustav's city.
Yeah, so the thing is, we were an invading army from Jade. So a lot of the men here are from Jade with us, and they're missing their families, so they want to go home, which is real. Let's go home. So they quit the city, and they're going back home. And who's this? Is that all the scene was? No. So Kelvin was holding the city when he left. Burglars and monsters entered the city.
Man, free for plundering.
But Han Nova was a beautiful city made of stone and iron. My beautiful city. I had no intentions of taking the city. Oh. So who is this guy? This will make sense after we get understanding.
Whoa!
Okay.
Is it appropriate that it should return to the Earth as he has?
Yeah, so
You can't just tell us in this cutscene that Gustav died at some point. No! Come on! He was the Master of Steel!
Wait, Kelvin has a son!
Wow. I mean, way to go, Kelvin, I guess.
And they just want to go home. Philippe. Another Philippe?
It just...
Was he named after...
there's multiple Wills and, like, multiple Philippes. Wow, my sword Firebrand. Okay.
Maybe, wait, is he... Okay, if he's got Firebrand, then that means that he is Philippe II. Okay, so I don't think he's Kelvin's son. Or maybe he was talking about... Maybe he was referring to Gustav as his father?
Maybe.
This feels like it's going to be an army minigame. Oh, the dragon scared the monster. Oh yeah, the dragon's fighting them. Oh no, if it's a dragon, that means somebody has the egg.
The egg. Oh, well.
Okay. We just got a cutscene.
My god, that was such rapid fire content.
Like, yeah, just like stuff. And we were playing as Kelvin, apparently. Actually, wait. What year was that? 1271. So that was a year before Eleanor went into the forest. Death in Cantal.
Look, the game... Gustav cannot die in this game. Okay. I refuse. Like, if they're gonna...
I think Gustav's successor is the next one we do. So let me look at all of them that are available, and we'll do the one... Maybe we'll just try to find the one that's been around the longest, which I think is Gustav's successor. Wait. A departure from homeland, it's death in Cantal. Where was... It's Iceland? Where the heck was...
I don't know.
Where were we
I
literally
feel
just
like
at?
when you mouse over things like that, they should highlight so that you know what you're clicking on. I'm gonna you figure this out. I'm gonna duck away for a minute.
Okay, here we go. You found Gustav's successor. He's already ducked away. His dog. I heard.
Okay, I haven't. I've unducked.
Was it your dog? I heard. The
No,
dog.
it's my own body. I need to drain the wizard, but I'll hold it.
Well, okay, we'll look at Dirk here, and you can go drain the wizard.
All right, I'm gonna drain the wizard.
Just listen to this music. Yeah, music. Get the leitmotif. Yeah, the egg has to be at the bottom of the sea, thanks to William. So, if there was a dragon, who has the egg? Also, who the hell is Eleanor? And Rich? And why was Patrick and Raymond with them? They were both, and that was happening like 20 years after Gustav had probably died.
Okay, I'm back.
Dirk.
Is that true? It is true. I have drained the wizard.
You drained the Dirk. Yeah, this was Gustav died at the...
No!
Yeah, Gustav, Poison Boy tried to cover Gustav's ass, but apparently failed.
No news of Gustav's death.
Began to gather at
Oh,
Hanova.
come on. He was supposed to die in combat, having mastered the riddle of steel.
But there are those who do not appear. The most notable of them is Marquis Cantal of Otto. Or Otto. Either one.
I feel betrayed.
Kelvin giving him the benefit of the doubt while these identical guys disagree.
Identical ministers. Crush him. I appreciate one of the ministers saying crush him. I think that that particular minister had fully understood the nature of Gustav as a person.
Yeah, well, Gustav understood gruel, which is
Yes.
not gruels and die. Meat and eggs, we eat!
We
Crush them!
crush them.
As the Count of Jade ready to fight me? Okay, this is Cantal, then. So this was the guy who marched on Hanova and abandoned it. Like, he conquered it, and then gave up when he saw that monsters were attacking it. So with with the line of succession disrupted, all the counts and dukes are making their...
Yep, everything's up for grabs.
So what happened with Philippe died, and Gustav was there when Philippe died. And then there was Philippe II, who was doing the firebrand ceremony. Was that the same one we saw with Kelvin, or did Kelvin name his son after Philippe? We'll
I
figure
think
out
that was the same. I want to believe that was the same one. And perhaps, it might be a Japanese translation thing. Like Philippe II just sort of referred to Kelvin as with a term of respect that might get like transliterated as like uncle or whatever.
Karnak! They're going to take over the fire mill!
Ah, yes, the town with just random fires in the street.
Okay, so this guy is his. Okay, so this is when people are starting to leave Han Nova, because Contal is making a move now that Gustav has left a power vacuum.
I've been pretty parsimonious with my criticisms of this video game up to now, but I really think that the whole story told in a random order thing is kind of coming home to roost here with the drawbacks of choosing to have things happen that way.
Well, that's always been a part of the SaGa games, is just wandering around trying to find what the fuck you should do. And that's just this.
Yeah,
that's how. That's how it's manifesting here.
Yeah, it's manifesting in the plot. Like, the plot is randomly floundering around, figuring out what to do. Characters are born on one screen. They're already dead on the other, having lived an entire life and left a legacy upon the world of crafting a city and conquering other places. It's what? Everything's getting compressed into a form that I don't like. Okay, frankly, this is colored a little bit by the fact that they just sort of swept Gustav's ashes under the rug before I knew he was dead. And I'm not okay with that, alright?
Oh, shit. They displayed Gustav's body for 19 years like he was fucking linen. And his anima finally left his body. He is 59. So his corpse died, and then 20 years later, his spirit left. That's because his magic was so stunted. Oh, and Cantal died.
It's thousands of years later. Everyone died. It's all random.
Kelvin finally obtains glory.
Wait, Kelvin finally obtains glory? What does that mean?
It means he succeeded. He went after the Lordless Lands after Cantal died.
I thought it might mean he finally made out or something.
We're back at Laubholz. Stronghold of
now here's a
of
completely
Laubholz.
Different place. What? Moving on.
And now this Duke, the Duke of Leaves, is meeting with the daughter of Cantal, who is evil.
Is no one... Oh my god. I think I know... I understand the raised area with the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a ceremonious place where servants are not allowed to go. So no one sweeps up there ever.
I thought it was just decoration because his throne is also growing out of the floor. So okay, so this Duke, right after the Duke of the Count of Jade takes over, is meeting with the daughter of the Count of Jade's enemy because he thinks she has long tracts of land.
Uh-huh.
Do not make any promises prompted by rash motives. Oh, and she's wearing an umbrella.
She looks like the girl equivalent of the monkey boy from Final Fantasy IX.
I usually know his name, but I can't
yeah,
call
there's Zeph
Shit, I like that.
Zeist.
I like that. No, it's not Zeist. I like that.
Zidane.
Zidane. Yeah,
Oh my god!
I
Thank you, Sly
I like Zidane a lot, so I should have remembered
one
that.
of the three of us remember.
No, she's Nicolette.
Zeist. Where did that come? No, that was the planet Zeist from Highlander 2.
She's
which
Nicolette
is the home of the immortal.
Or Drungeford.
Right. Drungeford.
Nicolette is French, but Drangeford is definitely German.
Nicolette sounds like one of those.
We are both young, so we shall speak to each other openly.
It sounds like a brand name for a kind of like drug that helps you quit smoking. It's like chewing Nicolette 3 times a day will help. On average.
Well, you turn the L into an R and you're there. It's Nicorette.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Having vassal. Okay, so she's immediately saying, "You're just going to stay down here in the boondocks forever? What if we got married and killed Kelvin?" Ooh, the Count of Jade was insignificant when my father was still alive. Okay, so she's got machinations.
And throwing shade at the Count of Jade.
Our country has plenty of resources.
on the Count of Jade. 1, 2. So we've gone from having like Chrono Trigger sounding music to kind of having Secret of Mana sounding music.
Okay, so she obviously has this grudge against the Count of Jade because he killed her father. So we're setting up like intergenerational, like 3rd generation grudges. Well, that's what happens when you wear an umbrella.
And like the Duke of Leaves just wanted a nut, and he didn't. He hears this whole like tale of vengeance and all. He's like, oh.
These 2 people were cautioning against her, and then she immediately converted them.
Ha!
But I wouldn't like to marry a girl who's that feisty. Grugel.
It does seem like she's primarily motivated by revenge, which, if you're going through the like profiles on dating apps and so on, like. Primarily motivated by revenge has to be one of your like features for like it's like loves kids or like artistic show. That kind of thing.
So this is the monarch of Grugel, and apparently she's either his granddaughter or just like called him like Ochi-san.
Cat. Alright, Cat knows what to do. He's fine.
So even though the Count of Jade is one of his vassals, he's ample courtesy and respect and inform only.
I think this is the point at which the game has finally gotten too complicated for me.
I think I can follow it. I'm Grandfather's show.
I feel too disconnected from these characters, Like I don't know who they are or where they come from, but they only sort of tangentially reference characters that I do know.
I've always viewed you as my granddaughter, so she's not actually his granddaughter.
The humiliation.
The neutral country of Na flourished with delegates and children from the lord of many countries. Okay.
The country of Na.
Oh! Okay, so this is 5 years ago. She's come to learn etiquette at court. He's the father of about 20 children. Okay, so she has 19 siblings.
Wait, what? Who, what? That's too many.
Huh? What's so amazing about that?
Sir Charles,
the son of the Count of Oh, this is... Okay, so Chuck here is the son of Kelvin. That makes him your enemy, correct?
Wait, Kelvin is the Count of Jade?
Yes.
Oh my god, okay.
Hey, doesn't it stink around here? I smell a dog. I smell the whelp of a dog that's... Whoa!
Damn!
Fucking nasty, dude!
Oh my god!
So maybe it's not the revenge. She's not seeking revenge over her father. She's getting revenge over getting roasted one time by trying to be friendly to her enemy. Okay.
He said that about a teenager. That was...
He was also...
Damn.
If he was also there learning court etiquette, he was also probably a teenager, and he wasn't learning etiquette very well. He was
Is that relevant? Like, if you call a teenager a dog in heat without addressing them directly, I feel like
bad.
It doesn't matter how old you are for, like... Oh my god.
Okay. So this is we're jumping ahead to when Kelvin dies, I guess.
Everyone dies. Everyone's gone.
Everyone does die.
Yusuf's dead. Kelvin's gonna die. The assassin guy that we were... Will Knight... Where's Will Knights?
We don't know about Will Knights.
Will Knights died a peaceful death at the ripe old age of whatever, having accomplished his goal of seeing his parents, like, avenged and making sure no one got the egg.
So Eleanor is going to the Svendorf mine, which we've been to before.
I think that's our only piece of continuity. Like,
nope, here we
the
go.
locations that we occupy, those are the things that are important.
We're finally learning what Eleanor is doing. Like, her whole journey has led to this. She's on a job for the...
Yeah, apart from, like, fucking off into the woods and fighting 1,000,000 billion monsters.
Yeah, well, that was leading up to this. We're now understanding why she was doing that. And then they're getting good money. They're long-armed, winged, ugly suckers.
There's one now.
There's one now.
Got the long arms, the wings, the ugly.
Well, they just look like the normal guys. Are they as weak as normal? I'm going to use one firestorm. That should be my judge.
I feel like that's what you should say to all your opponents when you first meet them. It's like, are you as weak as normal?
I forgot to give her a stone tool, but it doesn't matter, because she has firestorm. I guess you can use a rotation kick just to train your body. Everyone else can just hang out.
Oh, cat, what?
These enemies are not worthy of my respect.
Excellent.
I think if you just play the game at this point, you're going to have Firestorm. I just think a guy came with it. Oh god, birds.
It's fine. They might not be the same birds.
Oh, well, we're about to find out.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
They look pretty nasty. Well, let's just unload on them and see what happens.
Pretty berserk looking. Also, I feel like the battle music is a sped up version of previous battle music.
This is a different version, yes.
It's like more intense, more dire.
I think we fought these before. They're called Pusas.
Pusa sounds like a... It sounds like Spanish. I feel like an empusa would be some kind of, like a very small empanada.
The
It's like it's a mix between an empanada and an amuse-bouche.
If I just do
So
moves at
they
them,
would
they
have to be
die.
Catalan, I guess.
And Rich is just continually getting better at swords.
Richer and richer, I guess.
Can I go down?
Yeah, we fought that enemy whilst climbing a ladder. Don't challenge me to a game of ladder.
I want treasure. I will have it, no matter what the mushrooms say. I will show them my firestorm.
I will have it, no matter what the mushrooms say. So many takeaways from tonight's stream. I'm happy about that.
I need a staff move to do that doesn't cost freaking 7. Because, like, that's just so much.
Well, here's what we got for staff moves.
Yeah.
We got roll beat, which is swing swing.
Yeah, but they're very weak.
Heartbeat, which is focus beat. We got lobster slayer, which is swing feint swing. Got rock crush, which you're seeing. Got bone crush, is focus charge beat, which is good versus skeletons. We got head split, which is focus beat.
Yeah, but my duax is gonna break at this fight. Okay, I'm just gonna have you do nothing. You don't need to do anything. These guys are going to die from firestorm.
Yeah, it's just like that anime, Noir. If you're a guy, you're gonna die.
Firestorm is way too powerful. It's like, I wonder if I could conceivably do this portion of the game before meeting the character who knows Firestorm. Because Eleanor didn't come with it equipped. It's like, oh, and she's the fastest too, so fights just end instantly.
I see no problem with this. This fucking owns.
They will eventually catch up to me. If the rest of my party doesn't do anything, they won't get any better, and then...
Yeah, actually, the problem with this is that, you know, the fights are so straightforward and over instantly that no one learns anything.
Yeah. I guess I'll give you that, and then... You need a stone tool.
I didn't think about this before, but why does armor have durability?
This one is also a tool. Lake robe can be used as a water tool.
So you can like cast from your lake robe?
Yeah. Lake robe is the only armor we've met so far that has this attribute.
Okay. Dope. Because like the like rings, that kind of makes sense, right? Like you have this like focus ring or whatever. And, like a lot of the stuff like that we found started out with like 4 charges or whatever. It's like made to be broken. But, like lake robe, that
it's resistant to water.
All right, back to the land kraken.
Yeah. So, Patrick, what did I give you? You can hang out. Everybody else will fight the land kraken because the other guys will die right now. They die from the airstrike. Tornado Blade also is very powerful. We got that from Poison Man. Rich also, his sword must be like level 20 or 25 by now. 18. Yeah, but here's the real reason Eleanor is so powerful. 21 fire magic. She had like 18 or 19 when we got her. She was just
So started off strong, got a little stronger.
I want to send out Patrick. I want to develop some more staff arts.
Okay, staff arts. Just let me know if you want to review any of the ones that we've talked about.
Ready combos with these ones. Stone will just cast the spell, so it's either charge or focus. Focus will combo with charge and feint and beat. But will that work?
I think you're gonna get a heartbeat.
I might. Yeah.
Yeah. This heartbeat is focus beat.
How much HP do I got? Lots of HP. It said that this was a combo though. So what if I defend at the end of it? Yeah, there we go.
Painful beat. Whoa.
How much HP do I have? Plenty. So what was that?
Painful beat was ready focus beat.
Would it work if I only use the sandworm staff for the beat part? It will. I think we learned that before.
Oh my god. Painful beat.
Painful beat.
What an
Your first
excellent
move is
thing.
beat, and then your next move is the painful beat.
Oh, outstanding.
How much does that cost? Only 5! Okay, so that's cheaper than Rock Crush. It's not as powerful, though.
Well,
Not that much weaker. Yeah.
that's good inventing.
He hadn't sparked a
Good
move in a
inventing.
while. The way I suspect it happens is that if your skill isn't high enough, even if you input the mode, it doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah.
So while we were trying
You
to
can't
invent...
just like, with your perfect knowledge of things,
Yeah.
invent the best techniques
So-
and so on.
While we were like previously trying to learn stuff in fights, that would work, but only if you like did the inputs for stuff we hadn't done yet. So now that we're further advanced, if we just do that again and try the same shit, different stuff
Oh.
might happen.
Oh, we're advanced.
Definitely. We've been playing this game for 20 hours. It better be goddamn advanced. Crush him! We eat! Man, that's just a powerful ass move too.
That's, that's a pretty good move.
It's like, use your fucking sword to call down the wind.
Tornadoes are dangerous, man. They can whip winds up to speeds where like it will throw wood through stone.
Yep. Like, I grew up in Tornado Alley. You saw that shit all the time.
Hmm.
The only tornado that ever got really close to me, though, I slept through. I was just dead to the world. Did not care that the earth was being torn apart.
Perhaps the tornado was your own tumultuous dreams.
I wouldn't
It
believe that.
manifested in the
I don't
world.
dream for shit. My dreams are weak. That is a fault of mine. These are my weak dreams.
Okay, don't worry about it. I
My
have
weak
excellent
dreams, Kaz!
Though, no, it's fine. I will dream for all of us. Although, my dreams are plagued by the Dream Witch, who is trying to, like, present me with arcane knowledge in my dreams, but I just want to, like, meet in the waking world so that we can square everything away, because I feel like the whole, like, text messaging via weird messed up dream thing is not really working for me at this point. So
Well, that's how witches
as soon
roll.
as that happens, But if you are the Dream Witch, could you just like send me a tweet or something? Like DM me. My DMs are open. I think that would be much more straightforward.
Smash them.
Thanks in advance.
Okay, these guys are toast.
I like seeing the big numbers come out of our opponents. And the fact that the numbers sort of like ripple out.
Yeah, they have a pleasing ripple to them.
Yeah. The Final Fantasy IV did this, where Final Fantasy VI did not. Like with Final Fantasy VI, the full number all together would like hop out of the opponent when you would hit them. With Final Fantasy IV, they would sort of like they would like ripple out.
Final Fantasy IV is responsible for a very goofy thing, which is that that game had Cecil and Kain in it.
Yes.
And Cecil starts the game as a Dark Knight.
Yes.
The way they abbreviated that was by D Knight. So that's how they translated it, because Dark Knight. It has to fit in these characters. You're D Knight now. That is who you are.
D Knight.
Kain is a dragoon, which is not what he is.
Yep.
He is a dragon knight. And when you translated that to make it fit into the space, it would also be D Knight. So the translators of this game had a quandary. It's like, what do we do? What do we name? How do we differentiate them? Cecil's more important, so he gets to be D Knight. So Kain, shitbirds. So Kain, I just have to think they opened up a thesaurus, because knight is synonymous with cavalry. That's how the French word for knight works. Chevalier. That just means horse rider.
That guy, guy on horse.
And a dragoon.
Like horse is cheval. Chevalier is like horser.
Horser.
Like one who horses.
So
kind of thing.
A dragoon is a kind of cavalry. A dragoon is a heavy infantry that rides to battle on a horse, gets off, and then fights. They're heavy infantry that are mobilized by horses. Yep. So this dipshit was just looking up knight in the thesaurus, saw cavalry, and was like, oh, what other kind of cavalry? Saw dragoon.
They probably like found the word dragoon, and their prayers were answered. Yeah, it's
because like dragoon sounds like dragon. It looks like dragon. So they're like, you know what?
It was so perfect.
Kids won't know, and it's like
kids don't know shit. It was
like dragoon.
Whatever.
It's just so stupid and worthless. Because I knew about I had heard of dragoon things before I had seen a dragoon in a video game. Like the Scottish Royal Dragoons are a famous part of the UK Armed Forces to this day.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean that military terminology carried forward into even the American military, even to this day. My high school teacher was an ex-Marine, or former Marine. Apparently, like you never stop being a Marine, and I don't.
I'm sure
know how that works.
You can stop being a Marine if you're like court-martialed. I'm pretty sure.
But he served in the Marine Corps for like years, but he was still pretty young when he was my history teacher, and he was a corporal. He made the advance through the non-commissioned ranks up to corporal, and he was technically a dragoon because he was in command of a Humvee that had a gun turret on top of it.
What a tool.
So that was the dragoons, because it's a mounted.
Yep, you're on a Humvee
thing,
with a gun.
like you're on a vehicle, even though it's a Humvee.
So.
But yeah, like the dragoons in the Napoleonic sense
They were like musket people. They used heavy muskets.
Well, they were the notion was that you had a class of warrior who could fight either mounted or dismounted.
Yeah.
Right? So you have your cavalry who fight mounted, and you have your infantry who fight dismounted, and you have your dragoons are sort of like a flexible slot.
Plus, there are things that heavy infantry are good at that cavalry aren't. That's why a lot of the weapons that the dragoons use, not spears, they used carbines or carbines. Either pronunciation is actually correct if you want to be fancy at home.
I always want to be fancy at home.
So which one's fancy?
What gets me is being fancy outside of the home. That's stressful.
So which is more fancy, carbine or carbine? They're both named after Swiss mountaineering gear, so you can't be wrong.
I think the fanciest would be like carabiner, right?
That'd probably
you get the put a little French on it, which is weird because putting a little English on it means like spin, like with billiards, but putting a little French on it doesn't actually mean anything because I just made that up, even though it seems like it should be a thing. Because if you just pronounce things all wrong, that's like how the French do.
The Italian cops are carabinieri or whatever.
Okay. There's a distinction between the polizzi and the carabinieri.
Is one of them MPs or like?
It's more like the difference between like national police and military police.
Yeah, which is.
When I was in Rome, there was a lot of graffiti about the carabinieri. I don't speak Italian, so I don't know what the graffiti was about, but like, and there are different vehicles for them, like different, I don't know. That was like decades ago at this point, so maybe the entire world has changed. But I do remember a distinction between like what was perceived as local police and what was perceived as carabinieri.
But yes, just $1,000 and we're getting attacked by flies. Yes, hello, I am Nomid and I'm playing this game. It's mostly been very good. My friend here, Kaz, has been less impressed today.
I'm here. I mean, you're correct.
I think
that I'm not. It's not that I'm less impressed. It's that I'm upset.
Yeah,
I'm viscerally upset that Gustav has died.
Yeah, Gustav died.
Died in such a way where it was like off camera and like supposedly years before.
Yeah,
with the.
I like it a lot. I think I have a benefit where I've been able to follow the plot a little bit closer than you.
Yes.
Which.
So I've been deep in my cups and I forget things that happen in this video game. But I feel like I remember the important truths of the game, which is that Gustav was less than a rock and resented that and showed people what someone who is less than a rock can do, and then did that and formed an entire empire and founded his capital city out of 3 blacksmith districts.
I know we ended up doing one of each. Yeah, but in our hearts. In our hearts, Hondover.
In our hearts, it was 3 whole blacksmith districts.
Wait, shit! I'm about to break my fucking cool sword. Oh no! My fossil sword is about to break. I just realized that.
No, that's good. Breaking swords is good.
I'm not going to be able to use my most powerful sword anymore after this.
It's fine.
I'll be weakened.
Like, how many tornado slashes do you really need to do?
Enough.
I agree, but trying to put a technical, factual digit answer on that. Like,
apparently, the answer was like 50. That's how many I needed to do because that fucking forest.
Well, we found that blast sword before. We'll just give him a blast sword.
It was much weaker. Fossil sword was very powerful, but we'll find out.
I understand, but like, just carry with you that it is called blast sword, so it must be good.
Yeah, he had like a power 25 weapon before, and now he's going to have a power 18 weapon.
Why are you putting that on Raymond?
Because he had an empty slot, and I thought he was, and he has sword skill, so I thought he was rich.
Okay.
He is not rich though.
Great.
He's poor.
Glad we're on the same page. I thought that for some reason we were giving Rich a sword.
He needs a beast tool now. Do you use tone? I choose to believe that you don't use tone for shit, so you are going to get a beast tool.
Yeah. Yeah, get out of here. Get that back to our Sonic Poison party. Ah, man, I miss Sonic Poison.
Rich could cast Sonic Poison, but he wasn't very good at it.
It's okay, it's okay.
His superpower has been...
You do not need to be able to cast Sonic Poison
There's a lot of treasure
to earn my esteem.
You just have to have a bad goatee and a cruel-ass sword spell you can do.
You have to have a Kunio-kun face when the camera zooms in on you to a certain degree, and then you have earned my respect.
Okay, let's see what his sword spell does now. Because previously, a single one of his sword spells has been enough to murderize both of these slimes. Tornado Blade. So let's see what it does to it now. Yeah, barf. Get him! That's about 200
I must
damage.
say, that's pretty good murderization.
Oh, these guys are bad at being punched.
They're they're slime, so the thumping damage doesn't work. That's what it's called, right? Thumping damage?
Oh, man.
Bludgeoning.
Combo.
Bludgeoning is the D&D term. Sorry.
Okay, with the rotation kick smash duo attack.
Do you think that, like, cheated out extra damage, given that rotation kick would do 0 damage to that guy?
Rich just levels up so much, so often.
They're trying to make him our favorite character. It's
Well,
like, no, you like Rich.
He's not as good as Eleanor, but he's pretty damn good.
You don't know that you like Rich, but you do. Let me introduce you to the Gospel of Richard.
It's Rich, everybody. Is Eleanor
Book of Rick.
regaining as much SP back?
Could you imagine which biblical library book would be the Book of Rick?
The Book of Rick, eh? I know what I'll do. You can use Delta Petra. Just use it. There you go. Which book of the Bible is the Book of Rick? That would be like just a really cool dude that hung around with Jesus but didn't actually do or say anything important.
He didn't even get any books. He used like the Apocrypha of the Apocrypha.
The Apocrypha is Rick. Where Rick is just like, yeah, I was there, man. It's pretty cool.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be a Rick and Morty episode at some point, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to.
There's gonna be some kind of like, there's a Rick and Morty episode coming down the pipes that's just the Book of Rick. Oh, they're going in a circle. How about that? And Ranger Bow.
The best guy in SaGa Frontier 2 is definitely a guy named Gustav. Scale Visor. Who gets the Scale Visor? Yeah, it lowers your SP because it's made of iron. So yes, Patrick gets it. No, don't. There we go. All these giant tree stumps.
Yeah, who carefully like sliced these tree stumps? Why did they climb so high to do it?
Maybe this is just a natural formation of the trees. The tree
Wait,
that is naturally a stump.
The tree is... the tree grew to its natural height, and then, having found that height, grew additional rings around what it should be. It just sort of...
Yeah. Where it just grows up in ring form.
Oh, wait. What if it's like a tree that, like, starts out by, like, the first 100 years of its growth or whatever are just, like, diameter? like width, and it just like after achieving its ideal width, then starts to grow tall.
Oh, it was a stump goblin. That's what did it. 3 mana 2/2 that can't block. That's all it was.
Oh lord.
Well, Eleanor decided to level up, and then so did Rich. Yeah, Rich might not be the best guy, but he's the first sword user we've gotten in a long time, and he inherited all of the sick sword stuff that Gustav immediately figured out how to do when I still controlled him. So, just being a sword user puts you pretty high up on the, In fact, I wonder if I could learn some more sword stuff. We've been learning lots of stuff today.
Alright. Ready for swords?
Can we learn Final Letter? That's a sword move, right?
That's an epee move.
Rich uses a sword. This is just a gremlin.
Well, that gremlin must die, obviously.
What is the most advanced sword move we have?
That would be slice and dice, which is //cleave.
//cleave. //cleave. That's all it is. And then it might be able to combo with something else.
Theoretically.
I guess I should charge first. I just wait. Get him, son. Oh, he did.
Heaven and hell!
Heaven or hell! Let's rock!
Duel 1!
I want to invent a sword move, and I fucking do. Because I'm cool. And I just burn your ass away with heaven and hell! Which is marginally better than slice and dice. How good is Smash? 37.
Like to use the ampersand?
Yeah, the ampersand. That's what
I'm a
Slice.
fan of it.
Slice and Dice. I would be happy if Slice and Dice and Heaven and Hell, one used the ampersand, but one didn't. I need to play some Guilty Gear. See if I just want to try to play a fighting game again because the new one's coming out.
Oh man. No, hey. Let's you and me learn how to get good at the new Guilty Gear. We'll do it.
Ooh, here's the entry to the mine. You found the mine. Oh, she does not want blue or
Alright, so I kind of hate to do this to you, but like, is this a good stopping point? Because I feel like
we're basically at time. Fine.
Yeah.
We're 3 minutes ahead of schedule.
I know. I hate to do it. I hate to be the one to say like, "Oh no, stop what you're doing," but like, I kind of, you know.
This is 12 years before, man, I guess Calvin and the Duke of Otto were like at each other's throats for a long time. I guess Gustav's corpse did take 16 years to literally give up the ghost, so...
Okay, well, you did invent Heaven ampersand Hell.
We did invent Heaven and Hell, and we invented the violent... What was it? Painful Beat? Yeah, Painful Beat?
Painful Beat.
So sometimes you just gotta go into command mode and be like, hey, do this shit. And it'll work.
Hey, you wanna see some Painful Beat? Yes.
And I still have no idea how these work. The hybrid arts. Like, how do you...
Tree hybrid arts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there other arts I could do? Like, if I just start, like, using cleave with, like, fire, am I gonna be able to be, like... blast them? I don't know. But, that's going to be it for now. We're right up on 2 hours now. So, thanks for joining, Kaz. We got a lot of plot dump today.
Absolutely.
And wandering around in a circle. So
all too much, frankly, but that's okay.
A little too much of both. We've definitely, like, the game had a very, very powerful, like, first 15 hours. And now I think we're in this, like, interstitial area that's a little weaker.
I mean, my worry is that it's failing to actually genuinely build in any way.
Mm.
Like with a typical JRPG plot, it's like, okay, you learn that the bad guy is doing stuff and you like go after him. And then as the plot evolves, you realize that there's more and more at stake. But with this, it's just sort of like we don't know what's at stake. We like characters come and go.
The characters do come and go, but I basically have a grasp on what's kind of at stake because I think
I
Philippe
get
the
you,
Younger.
but like,
yeah?
think of it this way. Think of it this way. At this exact moment, if you were to anticipate who or what the final boss is of this JRPG, what would they be?
The anima egg. We fight the egg.
You just like the egg comes back and then you fight the egg.
Yeah, like the egg. Like
that's the only hint this whole time that we've had at like anything greater uniting this, right?
And we have the egg, and we have a lot of political stuff happening on the eastern continent, and we have children. We're starting to see children of characters, which makes me wonder if they're going to start being the people we play as. Like,
yep. That's my worry, right? Is that the game actually just sort of keeps going at this level for some amount of time and then stops, and then it's like, oh,
that's not.
I guess it ends here.
That's not all too different from like the other SaGa games I've seen, where it's like you kind of go until you fill up enough bars so that you can go do the last part. So like the game's not perfect, but the game has definitely exceeded expectations. I thought this game would be kind of
absolutely has. It absolutely has. I'm still waiting for the escalation. You know,
you're looking for.
I want there to be some like cosmic evil deep within the earth.
I feel
that
like
makes earthquakes happen or so on.
We still have a hanging thread that I'm wondering if we'll get back to, which was the last time we were at the City of Night, where like the Will and Gustav storylines were passing each other like ships in the night. Like the whole we saw Gustav attacking the City of Night to kill the pirates there, and then we had Will seemingly sacrifice his own life to cast the egg into the bottoms of the depths of the sea. And since then, after that happened, we saw a dragon do something in Control. So like something happened with the egg. So like what happened on that night? That's like the big mystery right now. But instead, we're seeing Eleanor do a job for Kelvin at a place we've been to before, and the egg has been in the mines before. Anyways, we're just recapitulating.
Okay, so all the plot is going to happen next time. That's what you're getting at.
We're going to get more plot, definitely. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for joining Kaz. Thanks for joining everybody. I need to see if I can do a Blood Vimber at some point. Just stream every day for a month. Because I need to do some more streaming. So I might talk to Churls and do some more Final Fantasy Tactics soon. That game is pretty good. Also, it's got a Gustav in it, and I forgot him completely, but he's a pretty cool character.
Outstanding. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.